Welcome back, everyone, to the 2021 Virtual Farm Forum. Joining us next is Minnesota Representative Michelle Fischbach. We caught up with her yesterday. Fischbach is a member of the House Agriculture Committee and is ranking member of the House Agriculture Subcommittee of Commodity Exchanges, Energy, and Credit. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I'm so happy to be with you today.
So to kick things off, how are things going in Washington, D.C.?
You know, they're very busy. We're doing well, though. We put together a great staff. We've got Nick, who we stole from Congressman Emmer's office. We've got David Fitzsimmons as chief of staff, and actually, I will just say we have Ben Anderson as the district director. So, and please always feel free to give us a call. But things are going very well. You know, we're having committees, and we are putting things, moving things onto the floor. Don't agree with some of the things we're doing, but we are moving things forward.
So we know the House is expected to vote on the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan Act this week. What does this new aid package mean for agriculture?
You know, it will be, we just passed it out of rules. We got the Senate amendments back and we dealt with those in rules today, and we'll probably vote on that in a couple of days on the floor, maybe even tomorrow. But you know, there isn't as much relief for agriculture as I would have liked. I think we should have done more for ethanol. We should have done more of the direct kind of and more targeted relief. There's a lot of things that are not COVID related in the bill. And so I really have concerns. And when we are spending $1.9 trillion on something, it should be targeted and it should be actual COVID relief. And so I do oppose the bill and did on its way out, and will now that it's back from the Senate, because I do have concerns about adding that kind of money to the deficit when there's already $1 trillion sitting there that's went unspent from the last COVID relief bills. And in addition to that, you know, the president by executive order stopped the CFAP payments, and we should be putting those through. So it's not the kind of COVID relief that I think that we need to be doing right now. Like I said, lots of stuff that has nothing to do with COVID in there.
Well, and then I wonder about the already existing COVID relief that's out there that has yet to be implemented. I think farmers still waiting on USDA to implement some of that aid that was passed in December. Do you know how soon, maybe, have you got a sense in Washington, D.C., how quick that could be implemented?
No, you know, we're still waiting on those, on the meat processing. They put together the money for the meat processing in that December bill. We still don't have the regulations from USDA on that. And like I said, the CFAP payments have been stopped. So, and there's, like I said, $1 trillion of unspent COVID relief from the last bill. And so we really need to be looking at that and making sure we're expending those dollars before we put another 1.9 in.
Once this COVID-19 pandemic is addressed, we understand climate change will be a top priority for the Biden administration. How do you see this impacting agriculture?
You know, I'm very concerned about that. And we did have a climate change hearing, no legislation, but an informational hearing on the Ag Committee. I think it went 4 or 5 hours. It was a very long committee hearing. But I'm very concerned because we've got to make sure that if we're going to be doing if we're going to be imposing things onto the farmers, we need to make sure they're voluntary. We need to make sure that they are incentive based, and we need to make sure that the farmers are getting credit for what they've already done. Farmers have already done so much, and so they need to have a seat at the table and be able to explain those things that they've already been doing regarding, you know, sustainability and things like that. So that's something that I'm very concerned about, and we will continue to watch that. We don't have anything of the exact proposals yet, but we will be watching it and hopefully making some very good changes and suggestions to those.
There appears to be a lot of partisanship happening in Washington, D.C. What do you see as the path forward for working in a bipartisan way on some of these key issues?
Well, I think what really needs to happen is that the chairs really need to step up. The chair, particularly of the Ag Committee, really needs to step up and start including Republicans in what's going on, and including the stakeholders groups. And so it's not just about Republicans having input, but it's about those stakeholders groups. It's about the farmers. It's about the Farm Bureau. It's about the Farm Union being able to have input on what's going on. And that's one thing. So far, we didn't see that on the COVID relief bill, unfortunately, that the stakeholders were really talked to about what was going on there. But I'm hoping that the chair does step up and that we get that input that we need to have.
Yes, thank you. We understand you're also the new chair of the House Agriculture Subcommittee of Commodity Exchanges, Energy, and Credit. Under that category, where do you see, the priorities for agriculture? Where will that subcommittee focus its priorities?
Well, I think one of the things is it has the broadband under that, and I will correct you. Although I would love to be chair, I'm the ranking member. But
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
yeah. But I was going to take the title while I had it for a few minutes. But one of the things that falls under that subcommittee is broadband, and so we're very concerned about making sure that we've got broadband across the 7th District. Rural Minnesota is that if the pandemic did nothing else, it showed us the need to make sure that we have good broadband across the district, and in those rural areas. And that's good, that's good for our rural communities, our education, our healthcare. Agriculture uses the internet, and so we need to make sure that we get that done. And so that's one of the priorities on that subcommittee for me, is making sure that we are working on that, and not just I'm sorry, not just getting it to the cities, but getting it to people's doors. And that's the challenge.
In closing comments, I wondered, what would you like to share with farmers in your home district?
Well, I'm very excited, very humbled, first of all, to be elected, and happy to be here serving the people of the 7th District and the farmers of the 7th District. And I really want to make sure that they feel free to call us and contact us if there's anything that they need or they see we could be doing better. So please, that conversation is very, very important to me. And just make sure that they reach out if there's anything, and we'll be reaching out to and making sure that we have that relationship.
Thank you. Once again, we've got Minnesota Representative Michelle Fischbach. I'm Carah Hart here on the Red River Farm Network.